have you been doing lately?
Not very well. I've been feeling very unmotivated. It's really hard for me to even get out of bed. Even going to class and hanging out with my friends is difficult.
What are the reasons you feel unmotivated?
I don't really know. It's just an empty feeling. I have no energy. Like I said, I'd really rather stay in bed. But even then, I'm plagued by incessant nightmares. I just want to feel happy.
So you're feeling a sense of emptiness and lack of energy, but find it difficult to achieve a good night rest? Tell me about a recent nightmare you've had.
Well, there was this one that was very vivid. It felt real. I was in my childhood home and woke up to find no one home. When I was a child and very panicked, I started to call out to my parents, and just then the house began to rumble and shake. It was falling apart. The ground beneath me began to crumble and separate.
So you felt intense fear and isolation in your own childhood home?
Yes. Just when the house began to separate, I was on a chunk of ground and I noticed my parents were in opposite directions, on land masses separated from me. I was forced to choose as they both called out my name. I couldn't choose, so I stayed where I was, alone.
So your inability to choose over either parent caused you to remain in one place? Can you relate this to your parents' separation?
Yeah, I guess, now that I think about it. My feelings of loneliness sort of began around the time of their separation. I hated having to alternate between my two homes, always having to move cities and schools. I never really had an opportunity to make any close friends.
Yes, that would certainly be very difficult. Tell me more about that dream.
Well, I was running out of time to make a decision, so I leapt towards where my mother was, but I slipped. I was holding onto the ledge and yelling for her to come to me, but she could not hear or see me. I held on as long as I could, but I had to let go. I fell for what seemed like an eternity. When I finally stopped, I was deep underground in a cave-like room.
Do you feel like your mother has a difficult time listening to what you have to say?
Sometimes, yeah. She tries, but she's often too preoccupied with her relationship. She just seems too deep in thought to truly listen to my problem. She tries, though.
So you feel as though your mother is oftentimes too distracted in thought to listen?
Yes. I've just learned not to speak to her about my problems.
So who do you speak about your problems to?
No one, really.
Okay, well, tell me more about what happened when you fell into the earth.
Well, in the cave, there was one center room and many tunnels that led from it. It was dimly lit with candles, and I tried to find my way around. I finally came across a large staircase that descended to a large door. I went down and tried to open it, but it was locked.
So you could hardly see, but had to continue to try and find your way out. Is this how you've been feeling lately?
Yes, actually. Now that I think about it, I feel that I'm alone in the darkness. All of the routes that I try to follow lead to obstacles that I cannot pass or are very challenging to overcome. I feel I must face it all alone, as that I have no one that I can rely on. It's a very lonely feeling.
Maybe this cave is representative of your unconscious fears, that they seem to stem from the separation of your parents.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel as though my reluctance to open up and trust my parents has spilled over into my other relationships. I feel as though there is no point to get to know people because eventually we will be separated and I will feel worse than before. You're the only person I have to talk to, and someday you will leave me too.
So you're saying that if you don't get close to someone, then you don't really have to risk losing them?
Yes, exactly. I know it probably sounds silly. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm sure I'm not helping my loneliness with that attitude towards people.
Well, sometimes we do choose to put walls in order to protect ourselves. That doesn't mean that we cannot choose to take them down again.
Yeah, I suppose. I have met some good people that I enjoy spending time with. Just lately I'm too preoccupied with my fears to even force a smile in public. Either way, we can continue with the dream.
We could, but why do you think you are preoccupied with fear? Do you feel you are unable to exchange a genuine smile?
I just feel inadequate, as though if my family is not accepting of who I am, then why would a stranger like me?
You feel your family doesn't accept you? Why do you feel like that?
Well, it's just, Dad is always busy at work, and Mom, well, you know, she has her own life to deal with. No one really cares about my problems.
Have you tried speaking with them?
No, I just keep my problems to myself, but they tend to escalate into a big dark cloud in my mind. I can't focus and I become fearful that I'm losing control of my life. At that point, I wonder how much longer I can continue living this way.
It is normal to ruminate over problems when we become overwhelmed. It is important to try and talk it over with someone. What about your siblings? Have you tried speaking with them about this?
I have. I just don't want to load my problems onto them. My sister is actually a great listener. She's very smart and thoughtful. The times that I have opened up to her, she has actually been very helpful in getting me to see things clearly.
And how often do you speak with her?
Not very often. Maybe I should try more often. We used to be very close, especially since the divorce. I guess I just shut everyone out since I moved to university.
That may be a good idea. I'm sure she has similar experiences that she can relate to you. So what happened after the door was locked?
Well, I tried to go back up the stairs, but they just wouldn't end. I climbed and climbed, but it just kept going. I realized the only way out was through that locked door. I ran back down the stairs, and when I finally got down there, I realized that the key to the door was in the shape of a heart. I removed my heart from my chest, and I felt instant relief. I placed it inside the door, and it swung open. But what I saw next absolutely terrified me.
So you were initially unable to access the deepest aspects of your unconscious until letting go of what was inside your chest, your heart.
Yes, exactly. I didn't realize until now, but yeah. It actually gave me such strength and relief to move it, and I set it in the door to finally see what was beyond it. The problem was that it was not what I had expected. The surroundings were a burning inferno, what appeared to be hell. It was bright and smoky, and I could hardly see. I saw my mother's father's face, and then I woke up screaming.
Were you close to your grandfather?
No, not really. We spent some time together when I was younger, but I don't really remember. He drank a lot, and my parents didn't really like to have him around. I don't remember much, but something tells me he was not a very good person, especially after that dream. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm really not feeling well.
Are you sure you don't want to explore the dream any further?
No. The dream is done. I think I've had enough of the session for today anyways. Thank you, though. I'm going to try and speak to my sister more often. She probably needs me as well. I do realize I can't do everything alone. Having people to talk to is important. Talking about my past and feelings has offered some sense of relief. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad I could help. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, that's awesome.
There you go.
Hey, we killed it.
It's like it didn't record. Oh, it gets
I
to recording.
didn't see the last